Hello, today we're going to talk about the earnings coming up this week. We got a pretty big week. About five companies, so not as bad as last week. Last week was it was about every single day. About three or four of them reported that I recommend. Some of them, hopefully, the trend seems to be this earnings season. The stocks ran up a lot, get kind of hit. Normally that's what happens. People get over whatever, then it sells off a little bit, and really have to look at the whole week. Everybody looks at how much it jumped after hours, but really, that's not really, or the day after, or the day before, or whatever. When you should look at the whole week. If a stock goes up 20% and then goes down 3%, oh, it's a terrible quarter. You know what I mean? But anyway, we're gonna jump right into it. But before, actually, there's some news that about Trump is going to increase tariffs on China. I don't really follow that 100%. I listen to the companies that are affected, but I don't really recommend trading or buying stocks just on that. I think that's kind of foolish to do. So I just kind of let that. If the stocks sell off a little bit because of that, then so be it. Let them sell off. You can just buy the cheaper ones because a lot of them, it's the whole market will get maybe dragged down by it, maybe not. But a lot of these companies that I'm recommending are really not in China. Some are, some are not. So you really have to play that company wide, but really the market doesn't treat it that way. Everything sells off. And maybe I could make a video why that happens. They're kind of all connected into these funds, and it's kind of weird how it works. But anyway, we're gonna kick it off on Mondays. Nothing. But on Tuesday we have EA, Electronic Arts. They make video games. They have like Madden and all of them. We're gonna see hopefully some good positive numbers. EA's been one of these stocks have been kind of beaten down, but I feel I call it the big free in gaming. Is Take-Two Interactives. They make like Borderlands and Red Dead Redemption and GTA's and games like that. And Activision, they make Call of Duty and a lot of them games like that. And EA be one of them. So I have about the same about in all of them. I recommend them all about the same. I think all video games, I think about them free could do well. I don't really recommend Nintendo. I don't really know a whole lot about that. But anyway, I think EA, you go. Hopefully, we get some numbers on Apex Legends. I think the Wall Street's kind of I don't think they understand what video game stocks should be looked at as. They should look. They should kind of look at them as like a hit. They're like a hit-driven business. I mean, they're gonna have some good years, some bad years with them. It's kind of one of these things where you're gonna have some bad. They're like movies, A studio might put out some bad movies and it flops and it goes down. It's just like let's say, and it's kind of like a whole series, like Call of Duty or EA and games like that. Companies like that. That's how they should look at these, but they don't really look at that. They get scared by Fortnite and they think Fortnite's going to take it all over, so the stocks sell off. And I think that's kind of stupid. Not really. Let's see, them are the people that don't really fully understand the business. They don't really fully understand that EA is, they make a lot of games and trends kind of come and go. Video games kind of come and go. It's kind of like a movie. You go back, 20 last 10 years, it's superhero movies are big now. Everything has to do with superhero movies. That's all you hear. A long time ago, or a couple years ago, or 5 years ago, it was vampires when Twilight came out. Everything had a vampire in it. Then it was zombies for a while, So it's just kind of how it goes, and whoever has the better zombie game or the best zombie movie, that's kind of how these entertainment kind of works like that. It switches very fast. So essentially, but you really want the best people working on it. So when a trend does happen, they can kind of do their own thing with Apex Legends. Fortnite kind of started that trend of these them types of games, and then EA came up with their own thing. So essentially, that's why I still recommend EA, because they jumped right on that. They didn't delay, and a lot of these other smaller companies, they can't really jump on it. And hopefully they do a better job because they have a little more resources and hopefully better people working for them. And the next company that I'm going to recommend is Match. This company, I recommend it for a while now. I think it has a lot of room to grow. It's one of these companies, though, their earnings is always kind of funny. It does really, really good or it sells off a lot. So essentially, it goes kind of up, but actually more up than down. But Match Group, it does Tinder and all the main dating. I think Match.com, of course, Match Group. Um, I think Plenty of Fish and all of the online dating sites and I think online dating is one of these trends. I don't think it's going away, and it's kind of one of these internet things where everything's going to the internet. Obviously, I think Match Group is definitely the best in the business. Has all the ones that you can really want. I mean, when you go on online dating or try it out, whatever, to meet new people, whatever you use it for. Usually, you probably use a Match Group company, and I still recommend it. This stock, and it hopefully has a pretty good quarter. It's been going up pretty bit, so it has ran off, so it could sell off a little bit. Next company is for the next day, for Wednesday, is Upwork. I recommend that stock. And basically, what it is, it's basically a freelancer type job. So as once again, as everything goes to the internet, obviously jobs are great. I mean, just long story short, when I got first started a job, you had to go in there, sign an application. Now you go anywhere and ask, can I, get a job here? They go, it's all online. Everything's online with that. So essentially, Upwork is not really what a lot of companies use, but it's definitely for freelancers. So let's say you can go on there. Let's say you're designing a company to design T-shirts, but you don't know how to do graphic design. So you would go on Upwork and get a graphic designer to help you design a T-shirt. And that's why a lot of people they do Shopify and stuff like that, because they don't know. They may not have a great business, but they don't know how to design all the T-shirts and all the things that they might be selling, or a cup, or whatever your thing might be. Maybe you're a music artist, or maybe you have your own YouTube channel and you have your own little fan thing or whatever. You probably don't design it, but you might go on Upwork to maybe look at, and they have accounting. I think they have lawyers on there. They have a bunch of stuff that you can go on there. And as everything goes online, Upwork it's going to be like that. And it's like a network effect. The more people that use it, the more businesses use it, the more freelancers could be on there. The more freelancers on there, more business. So it's just a network effect. So that's why I recommend that. I think you have a pretty good quarter. Obviously with jobs keep going. It does affect with the economy, and you see the jobs reports going up. So I think it go have a pretty strong quarter. They're still in the developed stage. This is definitely swinging for the fences with this stock. It's very small. I think it's only about $2 billion company. So essentially, but as you can see, it has a big runway ahead of it. It can definitely, I can see that stock going up to maybe at least maybe a $10 billion company. It's growing at around 20%. But anyway, the next stock that I always recommended, it was actually my first stock I've ever bought. It was way back in 2012, was Disney. Disney, everybody knows Disney. They own Star Wars. They own that. I think it's going to be a great quarter for that. Its stock has ran up a lot, but I think it's going to be a great company. It's definitely a buy and hold. I probably would never ever sell Disney. I've been through a lot of bumps with it. Last actually couple years before it ran up, it's been kind of flat. It's been up and down, up and down, up and down. But Disney, I think it's a great company. But once again, it's a kind of a hit-driven business. You can actually go back and look up the Dark Cauldron. It was actually a Disney flop, and it was terrible. And everybody said, Walt Disney Company would go out of business because of it. And it's kind of funny. I think it was like the Dark Cauldron or something like that, or the Black Cauldron. It was some movie, fairy tale type movie, and it was a bomb. And they were saying, "Oh, that's in for Disney," and that was back in the '60s, when they came up with that. So it's kind of weird how it kind of works for Disney. But anyway, now moving on to the one of the last companies that reports, and it's actually a big runner. This one ran up a lot. Is the Trade Desk. I made a video of that explaining it, so I'm not going to get fully into depth about it, but it's an ad driven business. The more people, it helps you. A lot of companies basically not spray and pray on their ads. They can pick these places where to put their ads, and what be better for your ad placement. And as everything's going online, once again, it's kind of a theme with a lot of these big companies, that helps doing with their ads. I mean, with Facebook and all that. I mean, look at Facebook and Google and well, Amazon's doing ads too. So I mean, think about all them companies going on online with that. So, and Trade Desk helps them put their ads where people can see it. I could leave a link explaining it, but really that's my overview of the week. Finish up real quick. I like to kind of do it kind of quick. Leave a comment or anything like that if I kind of did kind of quick, and I could leave a link for the Trade Desk and everything linked down the screen, fully explaining that company and why I recommend. That was really a big recommendation.